my topic is about education in confusion analysis. Education background of Confucius. He studied religion with Taoist Master Lao Zhan. Learned music with Shang Hong and Music Master Shang. Taoism, modernly. Taoism is a political, ethical, and religious tradition of Chinese origin that emphasizes living in harmony with Tao. Tao. Siguro galing Taoism. Okay, his philosophy. Confucius did not teach people about religion. So, yung kanyang mga books is not about the religion. Instead, he taught people how to be good citizens. Confucius thought it was important for people to live in harmony with each other. So, mas better na ang bawat isa ay kasama ng mabuti sa kapwa-tao. So, the most important duty was filial piety. So, filial piety means respect for your parents. Confucius also stressed the importance of honesty, hard work, that is concern for others. Ideas about education. So, education of Confucius' view of education is based on the conviction that man is born with uprightness. Even a moral person have an upright essence. So, Confucius said that by nature men are alike. Kahit na yung may mga makasalanang tao, mayroon pa rin karapatan silang maging maituwid ang kanilang sarili. Hindi ang tingin natin ay sila ay masama hanggang sa buong buhay nila ay sila ay masamang tao. So sila ay may karapatan ding maayos ang kanilang buhay. Hindi ang dapat itingin natin ay sila ay galing sa masamang pamilya. He honored and respected all human beings, and for him, all men were able to learn about the good and to do good. Therefore, in education, there should be no class distinction. So sa edukasyon, wala, lahat ay pantay-pantay. Kahit na mahirap o mayaman, o anuman ang iyong lahi. No class distinction. Di katulad na merong mga ngayon, katulad ngayon sa atin sa education sa Pilipinas, wala na wala na sectioning. True education, according to Confucianism, is self-education. So, self-education, ibig sabihin ay pwede kang self-study. So, pwede kang mag-aral ng true skill o mag-observe ka. That is education for Confucius. Theory, Confucius education theory. Theory of value. What knowledge and skills are worthwhile learning? What are goals of education? Since Confucius' goal was to reform the government, his goal for education were to produce men who were capable to serve in government in decisive roles. He attempted to produce chunsu, which is quite similar to English word gentleman. So kaya mas importante kay Confucius ang education. So para maayos ang government, so kailangan ay ang desisyon ay maayos, so para maganda ang takbo ng gobyerno. So at ang ma-produce ay gentleman, ibig sabihin gentleman, mabubuting tao. So parang lalaki lang yata ang sa kanila. Originally, both Chinese and English word meant one born in high social station. Theory of knowledge. What is knowledge? How is different from belief? What is a mistake? So, knowledge, so ipinanganak tayo kahit sa tayo, walang kahit isa man sa atin, halaman. So, how is different from belief? So, ang belief, yung ating nakita o sa ating mga magulang o ninuno. So, from that, magkakaroon tayo ng knowledge. So, nature one must observe is quoted, I have no inborn knowledge. I love antiquity, and I search for it knowledge assiduously. So, also said, among 3 men who are walking together, myself being one of them, I am certain to find my teacher, a good one in order to emulate him, and a bad one in order to recognize in him. So, ibig sabihin ay, what is a mistake? So, may 3 tao, isa siya doon. So, ngayon, titingnan niya kung alin ang tama. So, yun ang kanyang tutularin. So, yung bad one, so, i-recognize niya yung sarili niya. Alin ba yung nasa sarili niya na dapat ay kanyang alisin o baguhin? At i-recognize, ibig sabihin ay, ano nga ba yung kanyang katulad na kanyang gawin doon sa bad one? So, hindi dapat niya ipagpatuloy at ang dapat i-emulate ay yung good one. He is quoted as saying to a student, do you think that my way of acquiring knowledge is simply to study? So many things and remember them? The student said, yes, isn't that the case? Confucius replied, no, I have one principle which I use like a thread, upon which to string them all. This sounds like a rationalist who seeks to arrange his observation, the world's phenomena according to the principle of his own mind. So, hindi lang yung pag-aaral natin through theory. So, through observation o nangyayari sa ating paligid. So, we must think which one to do o to follow. So, yung na-observe natin na hindi tama, so, yun ang kanya. Hindi lang sa libro, hindi lang sa true formal schooling, but kung ano yung pangyayari sa ating mundo, ano ang mabuti, yun ang kanyang education. Yun doon tayo natututo. Yun ang kanyang prinsipyo. Theory of human nature. What is a human being? How does it differ from other species? What are the limits of human potential? So, human nature, tayo ay, alam natin na tayo ay iba talaga, mataas ang ating isipan kisa mga hayop. So, doon niya nakita ang ating ethics o paano tayo gaganap. So, tayo, ang mga tao, para sabi nga, isa din tayo sa hayop. Pero mas mataas ang ating level. Na i-identify natin, na-recognize, alin ba ang tama. So, sabi nga nung ulit, pareho tayong hayop. So, kaya lang, ang pagka-human nature, mayroon kang identity na ikaw ay tao. So, human differ from other species in their tendency to meddle their nature. Nature, ano ang dapat igawin ng tao. An individual human's potential is limited by the individual's ability to recognize her true nature. The individual's ability to follow the way of her true nature and by her true nature itself. Theory of learning. What is learning? How are skills and knowledge acquired? So, Confucius said, study without thought is labor lost. Thought without study is dangerous. When referring to his own way of learning, he said, to hear much, select what is good, and follow it. Thus, he is learning as a process of observation of some type of subject matter, whether it be books, objects, or people followed by reflection, that somehow change one. He is learning as a highly personal and therefore highly individual activity. He seemed to feel once awakened by a kind of real learning. This process will be repeated by the student. So, theory of learning, sabi niya ni Confucius, without no labor of loss. So, nagkasaya ka lang kung hindi mo inisip ang iyong ginagawa. So, Thought without study is dangerous. So, naisip mo, like this in the picture, naisip mo tinuturukan ng gamot yung, or ikaw ay isang nurse. Nag-decision ka na hindi mo inisip, so maaaring dangerous, mamatay ang iyong pasyente dahil hindi mo inisip kung ano yun ba talaga ang dapat mo gawin. So, thus, sabi nga, matututo ka din sa iyong experience na dyan. Their name may go through our experience. Theory of transmission. Who is to teach? By what methods? What will be the curriculum be? So, Confucius would have acquired that a teacher be one who has developed their own character. So, tayo, kaunahan, be the model to our students and to our society. Hindi lang to our students, o mag-demo ka ng teaching, but through our attitude or character, we must be a model. So, Confucius himself was a teacher and his methods were very informal and tailored to the individual. So, he did not use structured classes or examination. Instead, he suggested to each student what they should study. O, ilalagay, alin ba talaga importante? And then discuss it with them. And sometimes, just listen. He is said to have taken the stock of his student and then encourage their strengths and improve their weaknesses. So, kung ano yung kanyang galing or kung ano yung sila ay hirap doon nila dapat improve. Theory of society. What is society? What institutions are involved in educational process? Okay. In two books authored by Confucius, Genuine Living and Great Wisdom, he clearly states that society starts with the individual and that one must first develop oneself to develop family. Okay. So, sarili natin, muna, i-develop natin para magkaroon tayo ng before our family. So, sa atin nagsisimula kung anong klase ang meron tayong pamilya. So, kung tayo mabuting tao, mabuting pamilya ang mai-develop. So, the family serves as a model for the community. It starts from the family, then, the family as a mirror of the community, as a model for the state, so, the state as a model for the country, and the country as a model for the countries. O yun. From the individual to family. So, ang family nagiging sa community, makikita yung pamilya kung mayroon. Anong mayroon ng pamilya? Ang community mo, kung maganda, yun din ang community mabubuo. Then, to the state, yun din, and as a country, kumbaga ay buong bansa na. Theory of opportunity. Who is to be educated? Developing in accordance with the one's own nature is called the way of self-realization. Proper pursuit of the way of self-realization is called maturation. In this quote, I believe Confucius purposes education for a bad subject matter and form for what that education would vary according to one's own nature. So at Confucius' own school, he would not teach dullards and would only teach those who are bursting with eagerness for enlightenment. So, for Confucius, dullards yung mga ayaw matuto, hindi niya pinipilit. So, yung may eager na gusto niya matuto for enlightenment, ay yun lang ang kanyang tinuturuan o sa kanyang school. Theory of consensus. Why do people disagree? How is consensus achieved? Whose opinion takes precedence? People disagree because they are focusing on themselves and not in nature. in the way of nature. Confucius did not believe any one person was the possessor of truth. He believed that through rational discussion that the truth could be worked out between two people, and the truth often was found somewhere between two dispositions. As far as consensus on a large scale, I think he believed that people would naturally gravitate to. So, ibig sabihin dito, much better ang nagdidesisyon ay much better sa individual o isang tao ang two or a group. So, yun ang para mag-work out ang decision to proposition. So, mas better na yun ang pag ang katulad ng isang group, ibig sabihin mas maganda ang may pag-uusap na isang group kaysa isa lang tao. Result. Oo. I think yun na pala. Yay!